Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the first news on 2nd March newspaper front page zone. Senate polls be held through secret ballot rules Supreme Court. AGP explains secrecy has been held not to be absolute and eternal. 4-1 majority opinion asks ECB to take all measures to conduct fair elections and guard against corrupt practices. Justice Yahya Afridi rejects a presidential reference for not being a point of law. By Nasir Iqbal. Islamabad had 2 days before Islamabad, 2 days before the March 3 Senate polls, the Supreme Court on Monday ruled that elections for the upper house of parliament have to be conducted through secret ballot as required under the Constitution. The 4-1 majority opinion on a presidential reference was interpreted by both the government and the opposition in their favor. However, Justice Yahya Afridi, in his minority opinion, held that the presidential reference was not a point of law and be rejected. The detailed reasons of both opinions will be issued later. Since the much-awaited majority opinion affirms that the Senate elections are under the Constitution, these have to be held through secret ballot instead of open ballot as sought by the government through the presidential reference. The majority opinion consented by Chief Justice Gulzar Ahmed, Justice Mashir Alam, and Justice Umar Ata Bandial, and Justice Ijazul Ahsan held that the Senate elections were held under the Constitution and the law, but the ball will now be at the court of the Election Commission of Pakistan (ECP) in terms of Article 218, Part 3 of the Constitution, which ensure that the elections are conducted honestly, justly, fairly, and in accordance with the law, and that corrupt practices are guarded against, on which the Apex Court had issued successive judgments, the most exhaustive being 2012 Workers' Party, Pakistan through Akhtar Hussain. Soon after the announcement of the opinion, all sides jumped into the fray by interpreting the opinion in their own way. The ruling PTI claimed success, stating that the ECP had been directed to make arrangements for traceable ballot. In a statement, Attorney General for Pakistan AGP Khalid Javed Khan, who has tested positive for COVID-19, said the ECP was constitutionally bound to follow the opinion of the Supreme Court and implement it for the upcoming Senate elections. The opinion is binding and ignoring or violating code of the Apex Code among the contempt and misconduct, he explained, adding that it was for the ECP to use technology and choose the method like barcode or serial number on ballot paper, etc. Secrecy had been held not to be absolute and eternal. The polls shall be by secret ballot, but secrecy may end there, the AGP said, adding that the ECP was bound to print such identifiable or traceable ballot papers under Section 122, Part 5 of the Elections Act 2017, which empowers the Commission to print ballot papers as it may prescribe. No change in law is required to give effect to the opinion, as Section 122, Part 5 is the existing law, and therefore ECP has to do it in the light of the opinion delivered. Thus, if after the election and there is any material or evidence suggesting corrupt practice, not only the party head but any citizen can lodge complaint with available material or evidence against any voting MPA, MNA with ECP, and if there is a prima facie case, ECP is bound to investigate and trace the ballot to see whether any corrupt practice occurred or not, and if ECP does not, the complainant can go to the court or the tribunal to see if vote was actuated by corrupt practice, the AGP explained. On the other hand, Sindh High Court Bar Association SHCBA President Salman Ahmad said the short order placed the ball in ECP's court and made a general declaration about the interpretation of secrecy of the ballot, but did not give any specific directive unto the Commission to make the ballot traceable or identifiable. In Apex Code, Apex Code leaves it to ECP to introduce such measures which would eradicate corruption from elections, Mr. Ahmed said, adding that it did not even give a timeline for such measures, presumably because the ECP is the only competent body under the Constitution for the conduct of elections, and perhaps because the court was con- cognizant that it was only hearing the matter in its advisory jurisdiction and hence could give an opinion but not issue ancillary directives. And therefore, he said it was up to the ECP to discuss and implement reforms and measures to improve electoral transparency and, in keeping with court observations, should try and do so with all reasonable dispatch. Obviously, it would not be possible to implement any reforms before the Wednesday Senate elections, he said point blank. Senior Counsel Salman Akram Raja was of the opinion that the Supreme Court had recognized the prima facie of the primacy of the what is this premise? Recognized the primacy of the ECP as the highest constitutional body in all matters pertaining to the conduct of elections and under the Constitution, while organizing the need of dilution in secrecy of the ballot, the Supreme Court has left it to the ECP to determine the circumstances in which exemption and complete secrecy of the ballot might be called for and the manner in which such secrecy is to be limited, he said. The eight-page majority opinion stated that the ECP was required by the Constitution to take all necessary steps in order to fulfill this mandate duty in terms of Article 222 of the Constitution, which empowers Parliament to legislate on the conduct of elections and matters relating to corrupt practices and other offences in connection with elections. but categorically provides that no such law shall have the effect of taking away or abridging any of the powers of the Commissioner or ECP under Part 8, Chapter 1 of the Constitution. In terms of Article 220 of the Constitution, and the opinion said, all executive authorities in the federal of the Federation and the provinces were obliged to assist the Commissioner and the ECP in discharge of their functions as provided for in Article 18, Part 3 of the Constitution. As far as the secrecy of ballot is concerned, the opinion said this court has already answered this question in a judgment by a five-judge bench of this court, reported as 1967 Niyaz Ahmad versus Azizuddin, where it has been held that the secrecy was not absolute and that the secrecy of the ballot, therefore, has not to be implemented in the ideal or absolute sense, but to be tempered by practical considerations necessitated by the process of election. Furthermore, in order to achieve the mandate of ECP in terms of Article 218, Part 3, and with Article 220 and other enabling provisions of the Constitution and the law, ECP is required to take all available measures, including utilizing technologies to fulfill the solemn constitutional duty to ensure that the election is conducted honestly, justly, fairly, and in accordance with law, and that corrupt practices are guarded against, the opinion said. And in the end, the formal request, if you have not yet, please subscribe our channel and press the like and bell button to get the fresh from us. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day and goodbye.